What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Ronald Jones, a young running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had a pretty solid season last year. He split a lot of carries with Peyton Barber, so he didn't really get too much time to show his talents. But in the time that he did get, he was pretty solid. He has a few things he needs to work on, but overall, he's a very talented football player. And a lot of times, if you're talented, that's all you need to be. And you're going to see that in this video here. Let's jump right into it. Three of his strengths are goes along with his talent. He's very, very explosive. You notice in some of these clips, he's probably one of the more explosive backs in the league, and I think that's a very underrated thing. When people think of the most explosive running backs, they don't really think of Ronald Jones. He's pretty much an underrated player. Um, One thing that goes really well with that is his vision. He's able to read blocks at the line of scrimmage. He's able to set up his blockers down the field, and he sees things before they happen. And for a running back, that is a huge, great thing to have. And then it kind of goes in hand with being explosive, but he's very fast, and he uses that well in terms of change of pace. A lot of players are fast, but they're not able to really use it as well as they could because they only know one speed, and it's just go. But Ronald Jones, he uses like a stutter step. He's able to change his pace, and that really throws off defensive backs, makes it much harder to tackle him. Talking about tackles, one of his weaknesses is breaking them. His change of pace is good, but once a defender makes contact, the likelihood that he's going to evade that tackle is not very high. That kind of goes in hand with him being small, which also relates to his poor pass protection. You'll see Jameis Winston gets a lot of pressure. Not a lot, but he had some pressure and some sacks that were the reason because, Ronald Jones wasn't able to pick up an incoming blitzer. And because of his size, he's just naturally not great at that, which goes in hand with breaking tackles. And then one other weakness, and this might be a problem with Tom Brady because he loves to throw to his running backs, is his hands. He's a decent pass catching back, but you'll see in this video he makes just some simple drops and stuff that can't happen with Tom Brady alongside him. So let's just hop right into it. Two words that I would use to describe this play from Ronald Jones are explosion and elusiveness. And these are probably two of his biggest strengths, really. So let's just hop right into it here. We're going to look, it's going to be 21-7 Bucks, 5:34 left in the second quarter. This is the game actually where they scored like 55 points. So the offense is clicking in this one. Let's start the play here. This one is going to be a 1st and 10, I believe. And pretty much it's going to be a straight handoff right, kind of off the tackle right here for Jones. Let's just run the tape, and I don't really need to say much for this one because if you just watch this, this is the pinnacle of what Jones can do. He's going to get the handoff. It's a good block by the line, and then he just makes people miss in the open field. He didn't really break that tackle, but he's very, very hard to get. And if the Bucks can find ways with Tom Brady, Bruce Arians, great play caller, if they can find ways to get him in the open field, things like this are going to happen. He's able to make Waddle miss right there, sets up that block nice, cuts back. This is about a 25 yard carry, I think. And this play, it just shows exactly what Jones can do. And again, that's one of his biggest strengths. Ronald Jones has a lot of good plays on the field that showcase his vision, so it took me a while to find the best one, but I believe this is it. And I'm not going to waste any time talking about it. One of the things I like about Jones is I don't really need to talk about too much. You can just watch his tape, and it's pretty self-explanatory what he does really well. So this is going to be 16 for the Falcons, 22 for the Bucks, so they're up by 6. 2nd and 2, middle of the third quarter. This is week 17, so they're trying to expand on this lead and the season on a win. We'll go to the formation here. Jones is pretty much just going to run a little, kind of going to go off the tackle. He cuts back, but the original play design is to go off the tackle of the line, shifts down this way to block. It's trying to pick up the first down on 2nd and 2. But Jones is going to get a lot more than that, and you'll watch on the tape here. It's a really, really, really nice play. Going to get the handoff, and this is just his vision. Good block by I think it was a center there. And this will look better from the other angle, but this is really, the combination of Jones' vision and his explosiveness is what makes him the good running back that he is. And you'll watch on this angle here. He's going to have a great cutback. He sees these things before they happen. He makes both those defenders miss. Almost makes this safety miss. But again, it's just a really, really, really good play. And this play deserves to be slowed down, so that's what we're going to do. Just take a moment and enjoy this play by Jones. This play right here is the exact definition of the best running back that he can be. He sees this It's a big lane for the cutback, I'll give him that. But he makes a good read, sets up this block right there pretty well. And again, as I said earlier, he's just seeing things before they happen. And that combined with his explosiveness is what makes him the great running back that he is. So from watching this video, we already know now that Jones has great vision and he's really elusive and explosive. But one of the things I haven't gone over is his change of pace and his speed. And this play is a really good example of that, and it's very, very subtle, but it ends up making this play what it is. And actually, this play did get called back for holding, so I guess he didn't really make it what it is. But he's gonna, I don't think the hold really had too much of an effect on this play, and it's not the reason that he got deep. And I'm gonna show you what the reason is, and it's because of his change of pace. So go to the top here, 28 to 20 bucks, 7:29 left in the third quarter. It's a 2nd and 10, so they're trying to expand on this little lead they got. I don't really need to talk about the formation too much because it doesn't really have much to do with this play. I'm going to slow it down once it gets to his change of pace. And it's really subtle. If you blink, you might miss it, but it ends up making the play what it is. He's going to come up right here, and then right here, he's going to stutter step. And that is exactly what makes that safety right there miss, and it's what gets him open down the field. Going to look at it from the other angle, and it's very, very subtle. You might miss it even in slow motion, honestly. But it's one of those things that running backs who are fast and are able to control their change of pace have, and this is why this play happens. So 43 is going to come up. That's Nickel Coleman right there. And then right there, he's going to have a little stutter step, and I'm going to rebound from this angle, but it's really hard to see. And you might be looking at this and being like, why are you showing this? Like, I can't tell what you're talking about. But that little stutter right there is perfect. He's gonna he has a lot of speed. He breaks through the hole quick and immediately gets to the second level. But he's very, very, very quickly able to slow down just at the right spot to freeze the defender and then blow right by him. So one of Jones's main problems coming out of college was concentration, and that has a lot to do with his drops. That has a lot to do with not picking up blitzers and pass coverage. And this video, I'm going to showcase this lack of concentration here, and it's going to be a simple pass that he's going to drop because he's going to be looking up the field trying to make a play when the first thing you have to do in this scenario is secure the catch. So we're just going to run the tape. This is pretty much a 3rd and goal. The Bucks are down 14-0. It's a little swing pass, and he's just going to drop it. And if you look, when it switches to their angle, you'll be able to see why. He's just going to look up the field before he makes the catch. And again, this is when they got blew out by the Bears. So 3rd and goal. I don't think he would have scored a touchdown on this play, but this is they're down 14-0, and they need the running back to make a play here. Fitzpatrick just lays out an easy ball for him, and you see he's going to look up the field before he makes the catch. Put it in slow motion so you can see it easier. Nice easy catch, and then right here you're going to see him turn his head up the field, and as soon as he does that, he loses the ball. So one of the things he needs to work on, especially with Tom Brady, who throws a lot of these little dump offs to his running backs, is concentration. He's going to have to pick up blockers for the 42-year-old Tom Brady in the pocket, and he's going to have to make these easy plays for his quarterback. So yeah, this is one of the things he's got to work on. So one of the things that Jones definitely struggles with is his pass protection, and on this play, I really have no idea what he's doing. And you can definitely make the case here that it's Winston's fault, and he does fumble the ball, and he does hold on to the ball way too long. And there's a certain point where, if you watch this play, you know, he's got to make a decision, throw the ball away, or do something. He doesn't really do anything with the ball, and so it can be his fault, but I think when you actually take a look at it, I would blame Ronald Jones for this. And he's going to be right here. Just watch what he does here. He's kind of in a limbo between running his route and blocking the defender, and it kind of throws the rhythm of the play off. Let's go to the other angle here. It'll show it better. He doesn't really make a decision here. Right here, he gives like a little half-hearted block. He's got to make a decision. You either bump the guy and then you run over here, and Winston has somebody to throw the ball to, so he doesn't get sacked. He has an outlet, and they pick up some yards because Kuechly's going to go with Howard. This space right here is going to be open. Fumble doesn't happen. They pick up some yards, keep the drive going. Or you pick up the block. Winston has a nice little pocket here. He's probably going to have O.J. Howard open in a window right here. You pick up the block. Winston doesn't have to worry about scrambling, and he's able to get the ball to somebody else. Jones doesn't do either of those. Let's put it in slow motion for a better angle. You're going to see him. He's going to come up here. he looks like he's going to block, and then he gives a half-hearted little push to the side. Even the linebacker was confused. He doesn't know what's going on. And then he actually ends up coming back at the linebacker. Like, this is just a mess right here. He ends up coming back like he doesn't know if he should block or not. And just little things like this end up throwing the whole rhythm of the play off. And it ends up showing why Winston ends up being in the trouble that he's in. He doesn't know what's going on. The linebacker doesn't know what's going on, and Jones doesn't even know what he's doing. So this is definitely one of the things he has to work on. So one of the things that Jones does struggle with, and it's partly because of his size, he just doesn't really break tackles. And it's not a big thing for him to worry about because he's so explosive and he's so athletic in the open field. So he's honestly, he kind of breaks tackles before they happen, if that makes sense, because he doesn't really let defenders get a good grip on him when he's in the open field. And this is one of them. He's fast and explosive on this play, but this play could go for a lot more if he's able to break the tackle. And again, it's not really a big thing to worry about, so I'm not really going to do too much talking in this clip. It's a good run off the right tackle, but he just gets brought down by number 26 here, and it's a weak tackle, and this play can go for many more yards than it does if he doesn't get brought down right here. This defender is just he's gonna reach out, and he's just gonna give a weak effort to get to Jones, and it's able to bring him down. And he would have a lot more rushing yards here. He's just gonna have he's got to be able to break tackles like these because he can get many more rushing yards on plays like this. As you can see, he can get more down the field, probably a good another 15-10 yards at least. But weak tackles like this are able to bring him down sometimes. And again, it's not a big thing to worry about. He's so explosive, and he's able to juke defenders in the open field. So I don't see it hurting him in the long term. And I think because of his size, it kind of hurts him. But again, it would help him a lot if he was able to break more tackles. So overall, I do think Ronald Jones will improve. He had a terrible 2018 rookie season, and he improved a lot last year. I saw a lot of things that he did better. And it's probably because of more opportunities. You know, Peyton Barber didn't really have he gets a rushing touchdown right here. Peyton Barber didn't really have too good of a season last year, and the Bucs GM came out over the summer, and he said that they have a lot of confidence in him, and I think he's going to get the starting job week 1. I don't think he's going to split as many carries with Barber as he did last year. I think because of that, he's going to have a lot more playing time, obviously, and he's going to have a lot more time to showcase what he can do. So I do think he's going to have a better year. I think working alongside Tom Brady will do wonders for him. He's got a head coach that makes some good play calls. He's got a quarterback who's going to give him a lot of opportunities. You know, Tom Brady throws to the running back a lot, so he doesn't drop too many balls. He has some problems with concentration, but that can be worked on. He definitely made strides in that last year, and I expect him to make strides in that again. So I do think Ronald Jones is going to have a really good third year of his career, and I think he's going to have a really good year with Tom Brady next year. You know, if football happens. We never know these days. But if it does, I think Ronald Jones is going to have a great year. So again, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, please. Any feedback. I forgot to turn the comments on the last video. I'm going to turn them on for this one, so you guys can't actually comment this time. So, you know, any feedback would be appreciated. And again, thanks for watching, guys.